dedicated the last 8 years of my life into this barbering profession. I've mastered some very, very simple techniques that I would like to share with you that I feel that can make any barber a better barber, and it will help you in your journey to become a successful master barber. I've cut numerous amount of celebrities. I own 2 barbershops. I'm only 27 years old, and I don't say that to impress you, just impress upon you that I may have some things that you want to take a look at, and you may be able to use them going forward. Today what we're going to be going over is a bald fade. It will be bald on the side. We'll leave hair dark on the top. The technique that I'll be wanting to go over with today to get you to kind of understand where I'm coming from and what it is that I'm trying to accomplish we'll put our levels in as far as blending, because you'll need to put your outlines in and you'll need space in between each line to do the blending. And what I'll refer to this as is kind of like how we do in everyday life, where we have to go up a whole bunch of floors. We kind of like to take the elevator up, and when it's time to come back down, if the elevator's taking too long or it's too packed, most people don't mind walking down if they want to get finished. So we're going to take the elevator up and we're going to walk down the steps, and at the bottom we'll have a complete fade. And I just want to make sure that everybody keeps in mind that as I'm going through this, the different levels and the space, which will be about 1 inch in between each level, because you need room to blend. And I'll go over all that in a second, but those are just some key points that you want to look out for as we continue. The tools that I'll be using during this demonstration will be a Andis Detachable, where I'll be using detachable blades, the 5-0 blade, which is the balding blade. I'll also use maybe a 000 when I finish up. I'll use an OA detachable blade to put my first line in, and I'll use the 1A blade or 1 1/4 blade to put my second line in. And then on the top we'll do about a 2 to kind of keep it dark, because he does want some hair off, but he wants it still to be dark, and the translation will be from bald to a 2 guard on top. And I'll also use the 5-star wall clipper just to kind of do some blending and touching up where I see fit, as well as outliners when I do the outline in the front. Okay, we're going to start this bald fade. What I'm going to do now is put the first line in. I'm going to put the first line in all the way around. This is a medium height. You have low, medium, and high. This client here prefers medium height, so I'm going to start the bald fade by putting in the first outline. This will be the first bald line all the way around the head. All right, there we go. We're going to start here, and we're kind of going to come up on an angle just a little bit, just so we can kind of keep the front dark. And as we're going to come all the way around, we want to make sure as we go we clean up everything. So as we continue to go, we're going to clean up everything. First I'm trying to put this line in. And what you want to do is medium height, halfway up, and you always want to go underneath the occipital area of the head right here. So what we're going to do is put this line in all the way to the back, kind of mark off our marks, kind of get it clean. As we continue to do it here, we just have everything kind of nice and clean. Because as you go, everything needs to be nice and clean, because you're creating that vision, you're creating that picture. Everything needs to be nice and clean, nice and clean. Nice and clean. Cuff the ear. Nice and clean, nice and clean. Alright, now we're on this side, so we're going to do the same thing, kind of start it on an angle just a little bit, and I'll tell you why later. And we're just going to start that on a little angle just like this, and we're going to go all the way to the back, kind of with the same technique as we did on the other side. As you can see right here, we're going to bring this up around to match it. And then we're going to clean it up. Clean all this up. So you put your line in, and then you clean it up. So all this is cleanup work. All this is cleanup. Clean up. Because you want to clean as you go. Clean as you go. Clean as you go. Clean as you go. Alright. Oh, that's pretty clean. Okay, now we're on to our next level. The first level, this was done with a 5-0. I don't know if that mentioned that or not, but this is a 5-0, this balding area. Now we're going to take this OA, which is OA detachable, and we're going to put the second line in. And we're going to have at least about an inch, maybe a ½ inch to an inch gap in between each line. What I like to use to make sure I have the right distance, I like to use this part on my finger from here to here. So I'll take that, put it right there. We're going to go up here. So I'm going to take this up and put the second line in. So as you can see, as I'm doing this, you can see that gap. That's about a half inch to an inch right there. So we're going to do that all the way around. All the way around. We're going to put that second level in. So first line, second line. First level, second level. And we're going to do this all the way around the head. We're going to do this all the way around. First level, second level. We're going to, put all the levels in, and then I'll show you why when we're bringing it down when we're doing the actual blend. Same side over here. Now I want you to make note of this. As I'm here, I'm real stiff. Blade straight up and down, nothing on the angle or nothing like that. Everything's real stiff. That's how I get a straight line. Everything's real stiff. Continue. Alright, now that's done. Now as you can see, same length, same as I spin it all the way around. It's about the same amount all the way around. And it's good because you need room to fade. You need room to fade, so your spacing has got to be good. I like to use the translation to basketball. If you have correct floor spacing and you pass it around to everybody, it creates lanes and things like that. And you have one person can't guard two people, so you need correct spacing to get the finished product. Our next level is going to be, we're going to bring it up to the crown, and our next level will be with this 1 1/4 guard. So we're going to have first level, second level, third level, and then we're going to do the top, and then we're going to come back down and blend everything. So next level, 1 1/4. Same way, start same area, same thing, up, same distance in space, which is about a ½ inch to an inch in between, so we'll say 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to do that same exact thing. So this is 3 times the same exact steps. And you do this for whatever level that you need. If you have to go up to a 3, you keep skipping the steps until you get to where you need to get to. Alright, now we're here. So once again, as we review, 5-0, 0A, 1 1/4, or 1A. Then we're going to take the 2 with detachables and cut it all down to the desired length on top. And then we'll get to the fading. But I just want you to see the levels. 5-0, 0A, 1/8 or 1 1/4. I'll be using this 2 guard right here, 2 detachable. So once again, we did the 5/0, the OA, the 1 1/4 or 1A, up to the 2. And the 2 is what we are going to cut it down. So the 2 is our top floor. It's our top level of the haircut. And the bottom is the 5/0. All detachable blades we've used so far. So we're just cutting this down here. Now that we're on to the blending aspect of this bald fade, obviously before we had put the levels in, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we cut down the top. And as I mentioned to you, when I was blending, I took my clippers and I kept a very stiff stroke when I'm putting in the outline. And that is just to make sure that all the lines are straight, they're neat, they're not very choppy. Now, when I'm coming down, when I'm reducing everything and I'm blending and fading from dark to bald, I'll be using what I call an X stroke. And what that is I'll be going from left to right and right to left. Because if you ever want to get the lines out, just like if you wanted to cross out a picture during something that you were doing other than cutting hair, you wanted to cross out some words in a paragraph or things like that, you would put an X through it, like eliminate it, get rid of it. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're eliminating lines, we're getting rid of the lines that we put in going up. And how we're going to do that is by using the clippers in an X motion. And what that's going to do is eliminate all the line, and it's going to just make it blend from top to bottom. Remember, on the top we have a 2. Down here we have a 5/0, which is bald for this first line. Second line is a 0A. Third line is a 1A or 1/4, depending on the type of guard the type of blade you're using. And the top is a 2. So we're taking this 1 3/4 and kind of starting to reduce this top line. And when I mean reduce, we're getting all the bulk out. So that's basically what blending is, reducing bulk until it blends. Here we go. Remember the technique I said we're going to do like an X motion, like this and like this. So as we're here, and what we're doing here is just basically reducing the bulk. Reducing the bulk. And remember, when you're fading, an important jewel to remember is whatever you put that line in with is what you will have to take it out with. So remember, we put this top line in with a 1 1/4. So when we eventually get it all the way out, it will be a 1 1/4. All right. Now, as you can see, this side is very dark, and as you can see over here, it's starting to get lighter. Why is that? Because we just took this 1 3/4 and we started blending. So what we did was reduce the bulk. So as we reduce more and more, it will look more and more like a blend. Now, 1 1/2, we have this 1 1/2, so we're going to do the same exact thing. Same technique, same exact area, lower guard. One 1/2 is obviously higher than a 1 1/4. So we're doing the same exact thing. We're not going up as high as we went with the 1 3/4, but we're generally in the same area because they are very close in measurement, 1 1/2 and 1 3/4. So what we are doing is just kind of going in our little X motion, back and forth on an angle, nothing ever stiff, just kind of back and forth, same. Once again, as you can see now, you see over here, real dark. Over here, it's kind of blending away. See how these two lines are real defined in here? This is kind of what? Going away. Now, how do we get that last little bit out? We're going to use the 1A, which is the same thing we put it in with. 1 1/4. I know you remember this guard earlier. We're going to take it right up in the same area and get rid of that line. Then we're going to go down, do the same thing on this line, the same thing on that line, and before you know it, your blend is complete. Very simple steps, very easy to follow. Practice the techniques. All will be well after that. So we'll start here, just kind of using the same thing that we put it in with. We put that line in with this. We're going to take that same line out with this. Once again, all detachable blades. Very easy to do. And you see, as I'm going in an X motion here, since I want it to kind of blend, I'm just kind of chopping at it just a little bit, and I'm using the corner of my blade, just the corner, just to kind of catch little dark hairs that are messing up the fade. So you just kind of want to use little corners of your blade. If you only need to hit a little bit of hair, no sense in putting the whole blade on it if you just need to hit a couple strands. Okay, now as you look at that, it looks like there are what? 2 lines and not 3. Remember, on this side, we have 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. Back here, still dark. But since we've came here and we started blending here, all that is just kind of disappeared. Now we're going to go to the bottom, or the middle line. Middle line we put in with the 1A. I mean a 0A. I'm sorry. We're going to take this 1, which is higher than a 0A, but lesser than a 1A, and we're going to reduce that bulk. Same technique, X motion. Same technique, X motion, using the corners a little bit. Now, if you look at that, and you look at that, that pretty much looks like it's getting blended out. But, as I told you before, the same thing we use to put it in is the same thing we finish it up with. We put this second line that used to be here, we put it in with this OA, we'll finish it out with that. Always remember, whatever you put it in with, you have to eventually get back to and finish it out after you reduce it down. Same thing, using just the corner, doing the X motion, use just the corner. Alright. Just a little touching up. As you can see, starting to blend already, starting to blend out. I want to do another compare and contrast. Here on this side, we have the 3 lines. As you spin it around here, we have 1 line left, which is right here. And we're going to do the same exact thing, another level, same exact technique, and get it out. What I'm going to use now, 000, which is higher than a 50, but less than a 0A. Doing our Xing motion, using the corners of the blade because the hair is really, really short here. No need to use the whole blade. Use just the corners. Kind of just pluck them little hairs out of the way, just to kind of get the blend because you're at the bottom now. It's almost done. Same exact technique, never using anything straight up and down, straight stiff, always on an angle blending, just like that. Once again, we're down here, and I know this may look like it's blended all the way out, but the principle is what we put it in with is what we take it out with. So I'll be using the 5-0, just kind of touching up just a little bit. 5-0, blending, just kind of Xing it out, just kind of, angled a little bit, just kind of, putting that finishing touches, so when the client gets up and walks away from your chair, you don't have that like, oh, I should have got that little spot. So we are taking care of that right now. Now once again, that's pretty much blended. Everything's taken care of, blended top to bottom. I want to get a little nitpicking. I kind of take my 5-star seniors and just kind of touch up just little certain areas if I want. This is just kind of touching up where you see fit. I just kind of want to hit a little bit of areas just to kind of enhance the blend just even a little bit more. Nothing too drastic. Majority of the work has been done. Just, sometimes you like to just play with it, according to your eye, what you see, and things like that. But majority of the work has already been done. Once again, we're gonna take a look at this side, which you have 3 levels here, and on this side, you have a bald fade. So we're gonna do the same exact thing on the opposite side, same exact techniques, same guards. It'll just be another review of exactly what it is that we're trying to do. As I start, finishing up the haircut here, I want to just, touch up any little dark and light spots. Just make sure it's even on both sides. Make sure the blend is done right. Make sure it looks good in the mirror, as well as looks good to my eyesight. Just kind of double checking pretty much. That's what you do at the end. You kind of make sure everything fits. Make sure everything is good. To this point, it pretty much looks like that. I don't have any problems. Then I'm gonna go ahead and, kind of line the front up. And I'll kind of just showcase the technique for that. Real easy stuff, because it's only just the front line and the boxes on the side as I get finished here. So we'll be good. We'll get one last look at the overall finished product, and we'll be done. As we get to this lineup, we're just going to kind of comb out this hair here, place our finger, our brace, put the line right on it, all the way up to the corner, kind of get the line nice and clean. Clean up the sides, obviously. We're going to turn his head. We got the side, got the nice line. Now we're going to do, he likes his line to go straight across, so we're actually going to have to cut off this peak here. So this will be a little bit taken off, but you see back here and here, we wanted to go straight. He likes his front line straight, so I'm going to cut off this peak in the front. Once again, doing the front outline. We'll put the line there, put the clippers to it, go from the middle to the right using the right corner. We got our line right there. Now we're going to go from here to here. Finger placement. A little bit at a time. As you can see where we're going, we're not taking it off that much. Finger placement, clipper. All the way to the corner. Turn them just a little bit. Finger placement, all the way to the corner. Touch up, back to it. Now we're going to go to the other side. Opposite side, same technique. Over here, stretch with the thumb, we'll stretch it. Connect the fingers to the thumb. And put the line on here. Just like that. Start in the front, once again. You start in the front here. We're going to go from here to here using the left corner. So we're going from the middle to the left side using the left corner, left part of the blade. All the way to the left corner. All the way. Same technique, opposite side, same result. Corner it. Good. Straight up and down. How's that look? Look straight? Yep. There we have it. All finished up. Straight across the front.